Have you ever felt something has changed recently? And not just in the world, but in how you respond to things? Perhaps what used to help you cope or heal doesn't feel as effective anymore. Perhaps pushing through feels harder and you're noticing your energy more and more sensitive than it used to be. If that sounds familiar, and then you're not imagining it. And today I want to explore why healing feels different right now and how and what this shift is inviting us into. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Angels and Destinies show, where we explore spiritual wisdom, healing, and transformation to help you take charge of your destiny. I'm Rae Calnan, founder of Radiant Angel Energy, and a spiritual guide and healer, helping you reconnect with your divine presence and create a life full of purpose and fulfillment through angelic Reiki, guided meditations, and intuitive journeys across past, present, and future lives. Now, the meaning of angel is messenger, and destiny means to make firm and establish. So each week, my guests and I bring you messages to help you ground divine wisdom into your everyday life. Now, today's episode is a gentle solo conversation. It's an invitation to understand why healing is changing and why angelic Reiki is becoming so relevant right now. And to everyone watching, whether you're joining live or catching the replay, I'd love you to be part of this conversation. So let me know what resonates, ask questions, or share your own experiences in the comments. Please don't be shy and say hello. And we've already got Lee here. Hi, Lee. Thank you for joining me today. So if you're watching this live on replay, then I'm really glad you're here, because today's conversation is one that feels very timely. Over the last few months, I've noticed a common theme coming up again and again in conversation with clients, students, and fellow practitioners. People are tired, not the, oh, I need an early night tired, but a deeper kind of tired. And many are questioning themselves. Why does healing feel harder now? Why do I feel more sensitive? Why do the tools that once worked feel so overwhelming? So let me know in the comments if this is you. So today I want to talk about something important. Healing is changing and you are not broken. So let's start by naming what many of you are experiencing, because there is so much relief in being seen. You may feel exhausted even though you've done years of inner work. You've cleared patterns, healed trauma, followed the path sincerely, yet now effort feels heavy. Many of you are feeling emotionally sensitive in ways you weren't before, overwhelmed by busy spaces or heavy conversations, a need for more rest, quiet, and integration. That's definitely me. And a sense that your system reaches saturation much faster. You know, you may even feel guilty for needing so much space. Been there, done that. And if you should be able to cope better by now. And this is where I want to say something very clearly, and something that I've learnt. This isn't because you're doing healing wrong. It's because the energy you're working with has changed. Your nervous system is not failing. Your soul is not regressing. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It's a response to a more refined, faster moving, more intelligent, energetic environment. So does this resonate with you? Let me know in the comments. Now, for a long time, healing has been built around effort. We've analysed, processed, released, revisited, and re-experienced. We've known that more insight meant more healing. Or we've thought that more insight meant more healing. And for a time, that was true. But our nervous system today is far more attuned. Our body and and our energy field respond immediately to pressure. What once felt empowering can now feel intrusive. I mean, when healing is forced, our system contracts. When healing is rushed, resistance appears. That doesn't mean that healing has failed. It means the method no longer matches that moment. And I think this is why so many people say, I know what's wrong, but I feel worse when I work on it. Because healing now asks something different of us. Healing now asks for presence, permission, and trust, not pressure. It's less about fixing what's broken and more about remembering what was never lost. You know, I've experienced this myself, and I'm sure many of you have as well. And it is about, changing things within us, looking at things in a beautiful new way. Let me know how you find this. Remember, you can ask questions of me, share your own experiences if it feels safe for you to do so. Now, I've been working with Angelic Reiki for about 18 years, and I feel it really is now aligned with the times we are in. Yes, the times we are in. So Angelic Reiki was brought through with guidance from Archangel Metatron and Master Dwell Call, weaving together ancient wisdom and divine intelligence into a system that is profoundly simple and profoundly humbling. At its heart, Angelic Reiki is not about doing, it's about allowing. So let me know, have you ever tried Reiki, Angelic Reiki, or some other form of Reiki healing? How is healing affecting you at the moment? Has it changed for you? Now, when I work with Angelic Reiki as a practitioner, I do not direct the healing. I do not diagnose or fix. I become a clear, loving bridge. And there is a phrase within Angelic Reiki, often spoke by Christine Kaur, that sums this up beautifully. Not my will, but thy will be done. How does that land for you? Not my will, but thy will be done. Does it feel challenging? It can do, especially for those of us who are used to taking responsibility, holding space, and managing outcomes. But this surrender is the medicine. Angelic Reiki doesn't ask you to heal yourself, it allows healing to happen. Now, when we work with the angels in Angelic Reiki, the angels work directly with your soul, restoring harmony at the level where true healing begins, beyond story, beyond effort, beyond identity. This is not about bypassing the human experience, it's about supporting it with perfect love and knowing that you are perfect and whole. And what people often report after Angelic Reiki is not drama or catharsis. Instead, there is a deep sense of peace, clarity without needing answers, emotional release that feels gentle and contained, and a feeling of being supported rather than exposed. Many say, I finally felt safe enough to let go. And that safety is crucial because healing doesn't happen when we push. It happens when our system knows it is held. Angelic Reiki reminds us that we are not meant to carry everything alone. And I see that suddenly comments have appeared as if by magic. So I don't know when you posted these questions because they've just suddenly all come. So Debbie says, I love this message too. Um, Oh, Amanda. Um, I'm not doing messages at the moment, but I might, if I've got time, do a reading afterwards. So Andy says, hey Ray, hi Andy. Trish, hi Trish, great to see you here. Oh, Hayley, you're wonderful. Thank you for your insights and healing, really helpful. Excellent. Thank you for letting me know, Hayley. Diane, makes sense. Yep. Lee, yes, this is me. As I said, I'm not sure when you answered these questions. Mary, hi Mary, good to see you. And Dine says, healing has definitely changed in the last 6 months. It's more integrating for me now than trying to find a reason, remembering, exploring past lives. The light coming in now is different. It absolutely is, Diane. And I know you've been on an absolutely amazing journey. So it's interesting that you've noticed that as well. Hi, Vivian. Good to see you here. Yep. Diane says that's true. Allowing given permission is so important. It's such an important step. It really is. Healing in any form takes on its own energy. And it's a case of, remembering, as I said, um, Angelic Reiki reminds us that we are not meant to carry everything alone. I mean, often my clients fall asleep, which I feel is a beautiful way of surrendering to the angels or divine presence so that they can remember at a higher level of consciousness that they are perfect. And when the session finishes, they feel so relaxed and ready to take on the world, which I think is an absolutely amazing thing that we can do now. Um, Remembering is so important that we do that. We have to remember we are perfect, we are divine, and it doesn't matter what healing needs to take place. We have to allow it. And it's not healing, as I said before, healing as in fixing, it's healing as remembering and allowing. So think about that, and let me know how you find that. So, as you know, let me know if there's any questions that want to come through. Because it's just a solo show today, it will probably be a lot shorter than it normally is, because normally I've got a guest. Lovely. Definitely looking forward to the angelic course, Ray. Excellent. Yep, I'm looking forward to you joining me on the course as well, which I will get into in a moment. I will let you know about Angelic Reiki, about the workshops that I actually run. Andy says, even falling to sleep is a form of healing, I think. But do you think we will only get the healing that we need at any given time? Yes. Whatever healing we are meant to receive at that moment in time is the healing that we will receive. I mean, sometimes we kind of like think, oh, I need this issue with me healed. I need this issue with me healed. But that's not the healing that needs to take place. I mean, how I explain it is, if you were to come to me with a sore arm, as a human, my first instinct is to heal that arm. And, that's what you've come to me for, to heal your arm. But when we connect with the angelic realms and we allow them to come in and go where they feel the healing needs to take place, they could go somewhere. They could go to your pain in your arm, or they could go somewhere mentally, emotionally, past life, another life, wherever, because that is what needs healing more than the actual arm itself. And quite often that has the knock-on effect of healing the arm, because a lot of physical trauma that we carry is from an emotional energy that is around. So yes, the healing that comes to us is the healing we're meant to have, but it's not always what we expect it to be, which I think is absolutely brilliant, and which is why I love working with the angels, with Angelic Reiki, because they know, they connect with our higher self, our own consciousness that knows, and they work together to create the most perfect healing for you at this time. So if there's no more questions at the moment, as you know, I do guided meditations and angel oracle card readings. And each week I normally like to ask my guests if they would like a mini guided meditation or an oracle card for themselves and those watching. And I normally ask them what they would like. So I'm thinking that what I might do is I might pull a card for the collective. And from that card, I will do a guided meditation. So just before I do that, as a reminder, I often run Angelic Reiki workshops throughout the year. And I'll be running a Angelic Reiki workshop in March. And it's designed for those of you who feel called to work with healing in a way that is ethical, grounded, and divinely guided. So do check out the description in the comments to find out about the Angelic Reiki workshops I run. And Andy says, I always think spirit knows us better than we know ourselves. Absolutely. Spirit, angels, the universe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card for everyone here. So what does everyone who's watching this need to know for their highest good at this moment in time? What does everyone who's watching this need to know for their highest good at this moment in time? So if you're particularly thinking of a question, then please do think about it, and I will see what it needs to see what we need to know, or what you need to know for your highest good at this moment in time. And quite often, the collective message is one that resonates with all of us. Or if you've got a particular question, quite often that is answered as a collective. Okay, so the card that came out is Joy and Delight. Open your heart to joy. Okay, so this is really saying to all of you here, whatever your question is, open your heart to joy. You know, this ties in really with allowing us to remember, allowing the universe, the angels, to give us that energy to help us heal, to move forward, to answer our questions. When you open your heart to joy and allow that joy in, no matter how dark the situation is, that brings the light, and that light brings the delight and the healing to you. That brings you the answers, the guidance that you need. So close your eyes, feel into that as you open your heart. Open in your heart, think of beautiful things, think of love, think of compassion, which I know can be hard sometimes if you are going through a tough time. But, if you've lost people, think about the love you had for them, the compassion you had for them, and allow and remember that joy, allow that to fill you. And that will bring you the comfort and the delight that you need. So I think that's a brilliant card that has come out for all of us here. So I hope that's answered any questions that someone you may have had. And Diane, who has done the workshops with me, the Angelic Reiki workshops was such an accelerator my journey. I highly recommend it. And they are the Angelic Reiki workshops. When you learn Angelic Reiki, take you to the next level. It really inspires and upgrades you to experience new things, to take on new energies, to see healing in a completely different way. Um, yeah, Diane, allowing us to be like a child, playing, exploring, having fun with lightness, so important in our lives right now. You know, that we need to be doing that. We need to bring this joy and delight into our lives. That is part of healing as well. Again, it's not fixing, it's allowing. And allowing is so important and something that we really should be doing more on an everyday basis. You know, and you can do that, you know, whether it's in the morning, whether it's in the evening, whether it's just remembering during the day, you know, drinking water. Oh, I'm going to allow myself to enjoy this water. It soothes my throat. You know, it gives me energy. It's such a delight that I can drink this water. You know, so even little things like that will help you find joy and delight and will allow healing for you. And it doesn't matter which healing method you use or you practice. It's all about remembering, not fixing, but accepting and knowing that you are perfect as you are and that everything is perfect as well. Hi, Susie. Great to see you here. It's lovely to see so many people watching and people I know, and some who have even taken the Angelic Reiki workshops with me and have received Angelic Reiki for me. You know, Maria says, I love the workshops and I will always help out if I can. And that's the beauty with Angelic Reiki, not just the healing, but when you're actually practicing it as a practitioner or just learning it as something you want to use on yourself and others, because it gives you a sense of community, not just a community with the angels, but a community with all the other people that you work with. And there's so much support out there. I love Angelic Reiki. As you know, I've been doing it for over 18 years now. It is such a joy and it's made such a difference to my life, to the people I've met, to the synchronicities. So receiving Angelic Reiki healing or learning it is such an amazing way of becoming who you are truly meant to be, of remembering who you are supposed to be. And if there's one thing that I want you to take from today, it's this: you are not failing at healing, you are evolving with it. And sometimes the greatest healing comes from not doing more, but from allowing yourself to be held. So think about that, and I'll repeat that again. You are not failing at healing. You are evolving with it. And sometimes the greatest healing comes not from doing more, but from allowing yourself to be held. Beautiful. Thank you, Diane. Yeah, I think that is a brilliant thing for us to remember. So I hope everyone that you've enjoyed this conversation and found it insightful. And if it resonates with you, then I want you to know that Angelic Reiki, as I said earlier, is not something that you just receive. It's something you can learn to embody. And as I said, I often run Angelic Reiki workshops throughout the year. And I'll be running an Angelic Reiki workshop this March. And it's designed for people like you who feel called to work with healing in a way that is ethical, grounded, and as I said, divinely guided. You know, this isn't about becoming a healer who fixes others. It's about learning how to step aside and trust divine intelligence. You know, whether you're already working with energy or simply feel drawn to deepen your relationship with the angels or your own divine presence, this work meets you exactly where you are. And as I said, I'll share the description in the I'll share the details in the description for anyone who wants to explore this further. And Debbie says, true words. Thank you, Rae. You are welcome, Debbie. And as I said, this is a shorter show than normal because I normally have a guest with me. But I'd like to thank you for being here, for listening, and for walking this path with sincerity. And thank you for asking questions and saying hello in the comments. When you go solo on a show, it's actually nice to know that there are people watching you, especially, when you don't have a guest. And Susie says, Angelic Reiki has been a biggest catalyst of change in my healing journey. Thank you, Rae, for your wonderful workshops. Oh, thank you, Susie. And it's wonderful that so many of you have come to watch me today. So thank you so much. And of course, another way, if you want to deepen your connection with the angels, is to take my free 5-day angel connection journey. And again, the link is in the description. And you can also find details of my Angel Wings membership, which is a great community where we all support and help each other remember, grow, and heal. And my Soul Path Discovery program if you feel called to explore further. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, then you'll love the other conversations in my Angels and Destiny playlist. They're filled with guidance, healing, and inspiring stories to support you on your spiritual journey. So do check out my playlist. I'll put a link again in the description for you to watch another show that will resonate and give you more guidance. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, then please subscribe, click the bell to be notified when the show goes live. I post guided meditations. It's not just this show. I also have my Cup of Spirituality show. And share this video with anyone who might need a little angelic guidance today. Thank you for joining us, Andy. And thank you, Lee, for joining us as well. And remember, you are never alone on your path. The angels are always with you. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye.